I just had a very interesting conversation or scenario at the gas station. Saw a lady. I was filling up my truck with some gas, and the lady just came from the other side of the pump and say, "Hey, do you know how this pump works?" I'm like, "What you mean?" So I went on the other side. She said she started putting in gas, but then it just stopped. Now I'm looking at this lady. She's very nice, very well put together, very clean. You know, slim Spanish looking lady. Um, Driving a nice Porsche. Like one of those. It looked like 2024 or even 2025, brand new. So she was like lost, and at first I thought she was scamming me or trying to scam me, trying to get some money because I was waiting for the well, I need some money for gas and blah 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 blah. So then the further I explained about, yeah, you have to use a credit card, she's like, okay, can I do it here? And then I noticed that she's serious, So I didn't because she didn't know what to do. So she said, I really don't do it. I usually have someone else do it for me or for us. I'm like, really? So um I walked inside. I could have done it there at the pump, but I told her, come show you what to do just to be safe. So I went inside, went and tell her, okay, you tell the guy this much money on number whatever. She said, okay, got it. And she tapped it with her phone and then came back out. So then she putting in the gas, and you know and I was about to leave again, but because it kind of just stopped before all the gas went in, she was like, it did it again. So pretty much I had to come back from the other side of the pump where I was headed, and then come back and start pumping the gas for her. But as I looked inside, and this was even prior to even going in, there were like two grown boys in the back and one young person. And I was telling her, like they should be doing this. And she was like, I know, I tell them that, they're just sad. And in my mind, I start thinking about, like, like what have they taught them? And I looked at her finger. I didn't see any ring. Man, she may have been married before. She may have been divorced, or those may not even be her children. But the way she was talking, I think they're her children, or there's some kind of family to her because she mentioned about sending them back to whatever country they were from, tell them that they're no good or just lazy, or whatever. And it just started me thinking about, what are we teaching our children, you know, as fathers and as mothers. But because I didn't see the ring on her finger, I was thinking about, is there anyone teaching them the right thing? Driving a nice car, looking nice. I'm sure it wasn't cheap. And in all fairness, I don't know their financial situation, but it was just strange to me that these boys didn't know what to do. Because previous to me going inside, one of them came out the car, and I'm like, I was asking him, like, like, what's up? And he was like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I'm not sure if he spoke English well, but and he just ran back in the car when the mother or whoever was outside trying to get them home, trying to get gas in the car. So I walked her in, and you know the end of the story. But it just got me thinking about who is teaching them things. Let's say they're well-to-do, driving this nice car, but well, it got to be some. They got to be kind of well-to-do because you say if someone else usually fills up the car. So I'm assuming that's the case. So it's like, who is teaching the boys anything? You know, they might know some things. They might be academically smart. They might even have some sports smart. I don't know. They didn't look particularly athletic, but they might be. But who's teaching them about how to take care of their mother? How to how to how to try to figure things out instead of letting her fend for herself. You know, if you're a father or a husband, or even if your kids aren't together, if you have children, especially boys, you should be teaching your boys how to protect their mother and how to look out for her best interest. Because I could have been somebody who took advantage of her, and they just sitting there like nothing happened. But these are things that you have to teach them how to protect. Part of our job as fathers, as men, is to teach children how to protect, their mother. You know, the Bible says, "Honor your mother and your father, that your days may be well." You know what I mean? And she may even be the best mother in your mind, but it still doesn't mean that she doesn't need protection. You know what I mean? And I just found it very interesting. And sometimes I realize as this whole scenario happened, it made me start thinking about how I have to go back and teach my children things. Because even as I'm talking about this with you, I'm thinking about, I never thought about doing this. I never thought about having to teach this, or this scenario never came up in my mind. Like, never leave your mother alone. Never leave her to do things on her own, especially if you're there. Like, these boys seem like some big boys. They look like at least about 15, 16, 17. The one in the back looked even older. And I kind of think like God showed me this scenario to let me know you got to keep on teaching the children. You got to keep on. You can't just let it just go. You can't let it have a loose day, or you can't forget about it. You have to keep on building on the blocks that you've laid from when they're young. God gave me this opportunity today to just make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Now, granted, I don't know their situation. I don't know exactly what they were going through. But my takeaway, and it's something that I have to remind myself, keep teaching my children, keep teaching them how to protect, how to provide, and how to, like, I only have boys, so I gotta teach them how to protect, provide, and just be a man, and just keep building upon those things. Cause if I was a crooked man, I could have, well, I can't say I would have finessed her, but why should they trust me so easily? If anything, they should at least be out there just watching, at least walking with us to and from the cashier, or at least outside, see what's going on, or at least standing, watching, and learning in the event that this happens again. But it just let me know this whole fathering thing, this whole parenting thing, it has to be every day, all the time. Of course, not overbearing, but you have to teach them lessons even when they don't know they're being taught a lesson. I guess that's a good sign of a teacher. You're teaching even when they're not aware that they're being taught. God tells you to others the things you're supposed to do, and sometimes He tells you Himself. So don't give up. Keep teaching. Keep teaching. Keep pushing.